This week, we go to the Greek island of Lesbos, normally a haven for tourists at this time of year. This summer, the island has been inundated with desperate migrants hoping for a new life in Europe, most of them refugees fleeing the war in Syria. Lesbos and the other Greek islands have become the front line in Europe's migrant crisis, with around 3,000 people arriving every day. Our observers Eric and Philippa are a British couple trying to do what they can to help. My colleague Julien Pain went to meet them.
Come here to help the refugees coming out of Syria. If I'm up here, I have a high vantage point here. I can see the whole bay through here, and we get the car there before they land.
How long does it take for them to cross?
A normal day like today, I would say 25 to 35 minutes.
Can it be a risky trip?
Yes, a lot of boats have sunk. Yeah, we had 4 that actually sunk yesterday.
It's amazing that we're actually in Europe and this is happening, and no one has come.
Eric spots small boats out to sea. We head towards the shore. I watch 4 boats reach land. Some people have already jumped out to reduce the boat's weight.
Syria, Syria, Syria!
Hugs and shouts of joy after the terrifying crossing.
Good, David, good. Where? Erbil.
They've travelled for months or even years. And it's the first time they've set foot in Europe. They think that the hardest part is behind them.
What you mean?
You're going Germany? Germany?
Sweden, Norway.
North, Europe.
And I see the same thing up and down the coast. Here, there are several Afghan families.
Who was driving the boat?
The traffickers charged €900 per person, but they were not on the boat. I was driving, although I had never driven a boat before. In fact, I had never even seen such a large expanse of water. But thanks to God, we arrived safe and sound. There is a war in Afghanistan. People are killed for nothing there. Nobody is safe.
Sultan is jubilant. After 3 years travelling and waiting in Turkey, he's finally in Europe. Philippa and her husband do their best to help them.
Where are you taking them now?
Now I'm taking them just to here. I have water in the car. Maybe I can take some of the really small babies and the old lady.
76 kilometers.
Thank you.
Above all, Philippa answers their questions. These families are totally bewildered. They were told that when they arrived in Greece, they would be cared for. This is far from the truth. It's summer and Lesbos is currently home to thousands of tourists. They watch stupefied as this wave of migrants arrives on the beach.
Do you know who are the people who are trying to get on the boat?
Migrants?
Did you know that immigrants were coming to Lesbos?
We never heard about it. We first time see something like that. It's typical situation.
The villagers are also worried. Here, people mainly make a living from fishing and tourism. This influx of migrants is a heavy burden on the local economy.
The day before yesterday, 300 migrants arrived here in just 15 minutes. That's twice the population of our village. What are we meant to do if they attack us? Shoot at them? These people are hungry. So how will things work out?
The villagers see several boats arrive each day, but many of them never make it to shore. In such cases, the Greek Coast Guard steps in.
You have to return back because we don't have to mess the group. There is another group over there, okay?
Their overstretched teams work tirelessly, and each day they save hundreds of lives.
We had a problem. We were out at sea and the engine broke down. We alerted the Coast Guard and they came to rescue us. If they'd arrived any later, we would have sunk.
Despite the efforts of the Coast Guard, once they're on dry land, these families are left to their own devices. Neither the European Union nor the Greek state are taking responsibility for this humanitarian crisis. The burden therefore falls on volunteers like Eric and Philippa. With no support from the local authorities, the couple turns to the internet for help.
Toothbrushes, toothpaste. So these are emergency blankets.
Does it happen that sometimes they find you on Twitter or Facebook?
Yeah, we get every day Facebook messages saying, you know, we want to help. Because this is crazy.
There's no let-up for our observers. The couple is now heading to the bus station in Molivos village.
How many people do you think arrived this morning in Molivos?
I'm guessing 150 with the 4 boats. Now, hopefully, we can arrange a bus so that these people can be saved a walk of 65 kilometers.
Because then they need to go to a camp now.
They want to go to a camp. As soon as they arrive, they're looking for the police because they want to be processed and they want to move on.
Few migrants will be able to board the limited number of buses chartered by the police. Most will have to walk for almost 3 days to reach the camps. Karatepe, one of the 3 sites supposed to accommodate migrants. I wonder who's running the camp. The authorities seem to have deserted it. There's just one shopkeeper here.
This site was supposed to house 300 to 400 people, but each day, more and more people arrived. Today, there are between 1,500 and 2,000 people.
We bump into the Syrian family we met after they were rescued by the Coast Guard. The woman is pregnant. Her husband is extremely anxious.
We have been here for 2 days and nobody has come to speak with us. The food is disgusting and there is no doctor. Look at the rubbish. Look all around us.
Do you know what's the next step for you?
We don't know at all. We're going to walk, but I don't know where.
We head to the island's other camp. This is where the Greek authorities register migrants and issue residence permits. I'm supposed to meet with the mayor of Lesbos. He's on the front line when it comes to managing the crisis. As soon as he arrives, the locals who live next to the camp hurry over to complain.
Why have they abandoned us? They've destroyed everything here. They've vandalized the water points and fences because they're hungry. Where are the authorities who are meant to be running this camp?
Camp Moria is much too small to accommodate all the migrants, so they're crammed in the entrance. Angry Afghans gather around us.
Everybody says expired. Telling that it makes us
No running water or toilets. The camp is unsanitary. The mayor explains that he's overwhelmed by the situation.
The situation seems to be getting out of control. People are getting very angry. Do you understand why?
I have one thing to say. My island is bearing the burden of the major powers' sins. To grow richer, they've ensured their countries slide into chaos, and that is why they're all emigrating. I have requested help from international organizations and from the European Union. I've asked the Greek state to negotiate with Turkey so that they send us fewer people and so that we can manage the situation. The joint capacity of the two camps you have visited is 2,000 people. Today we have 5,000 people, and we are receiving no help from international organizations. This is a human rights issue. They must come here to do their work.
In a tent and in direct sunlight, we come across the Afghan family that we met on the shore. Sultan, the young singer who wore a beaming smile when he disembarked, now looks completely dejected.
We are tired. Everyone is ill. We don't know what to do. We are hungry, and they don't give us enough to eat. Almost nothing at all. It is very hot in this tent. It is very hard for the children. I am sad. I feel like I'm at a dead end. I'm really sad.
What are you waiting for now?
Like everyone else, we are waiting to enter the camp. Then we hope to get papers so that we can go to Athens.
After waiting for several days, these migrants receive a temporary authorization to stay in Europe. Their journey will begin again, from Greece to Austria, Germany or Sweden, often travelling on foot for weeks. They leave the island, but hundreds more arrive each day. And as almost nothing is done by the European Union or by Greece, which is currently in economic turmoil, volunteers are left to weather the storm. Shopkeepers and carpenters who've become unsung humanitarian heroes.
That's it for this edition of the Observer's Direct. Remember, we depend on you to help us make this programme. So if there's an issue in your community you think the world needs to know about, get in touch and maybe we'll come see you for the next Observer's Direct.